Ynares Sports Arena is the setting today for Fox Sports live coverage of Game 2 of the 2013 AirAsia ABL Finals between the San Miguel Beermen and the Indonesia Warriors. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ynares Sports Arena. Alongside Paul Pilelli and Vince Hezon, I'm Sean Farquhar. The San Miguel Beermen look to open up a commanding 2-0 lead, while the Indonesia Warriors go for a split before Game 3 in Jakarta in midweek. And Vince, we go back to Game 1, the Beermen winning despite getting very little production from their imports, Brian and Justin Williams.
Yes, if you would have told me they could have got 8 points only in total in that game and won, I would have said you might have been crazy. It's time for those two to really step up their game and really have that killer instinct and go for the win today.
Perimeter attack, the calling card for the Indonesia Warriors all season, but 4 of 21 from downtown didn't get it done for them in Game 1.
Correct. The Warriors are heavily reliant on their three-point shot. 19% will not get it done, but however, they rarely have 2 bad shooting performances in a row, so look for them to bounce back here in Game 2.
All right, and try and get a split of the series. Let's meet the players. Your court announcer is Noel Zarate.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the players of the visiting team, the Indonesia Warriors. At number 8, Jeric Cañada. At number 12, Sven de Reuter. At number 15, Christian Sitepu. At number 17, Amin Prihantono. At number 27, Donny Ristanto. At number 77, Franz Jaswadi. And at number 91, Agustinos Indarajaya. And now the starters for the Indonesia Warriors. At number 3, Stanley Pringle. At number 2, Mario Wuisang. At number 9, Chris Daniels. At number 16, John Albert Smith. And at center, number 55, Stephen Thomas. Head coach is Todd Purves. Assistant coaches are Firman Muljono, Kokorda Raka Satria Wibawa, and Mulkhis Mohammed Siddiq, with team manager Rudolph Toulouse. And now, let's meet and greet your San Miguel Beermen. From Makati City, Philippines, number 11, Hans Tiale. From Isabela City, Philippines, number 6, Val Acuna. From Parañaque City, Philippines, number 1, Jeric Fortuna. From Fremont in the USA, number 3, Christian Luanzon. From Cagayan de Oro City, Philippines, number 15, J.R. Kawaling. From Pasig City, Philippines, number 30, Major Payne, Eric Mank. And from Illinois in the USA, number 24, Justin Williams. And now the starters for your Beermen. From Quezon City in the Philippines, number 12, Paulo Upalde. From Seattle, Washington, USA, number 2, Chris Banchero. From Manila in the Philippines, number 18, Leo Avenido. From New York in the USA, number 33, Brian Williams. And from Samar Leyte, Philippines, number 88, The Rock, the MVP, Asi Tolada. Head coach for the Beermen is Leo Austria. Assistant coaches are Oliver Bunyi, Mac Kuan, and Alvin Tang. Team manager is Rico Meneses. Team official is Noli Ayala. Referees for this game, Wee Liak Wong, our referee, Xiong Chuan Sim, our first umpire, and T. Yong Sern from Malaysia, our umpire number 2. The first 2 officials from Singapore with our game commissioner, Nguyen Ngoc Tuan of Vietnam. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, tumayo po tayong lahat. Alisin po ang anumang suplot sa ating mga ulo at humarap po tayo sa bandila ng Pilipinas at awitin ang ating pambansang awit.
Bayang magiging, pelas na silanganan, alam na puso, sakit tiyapo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tulan ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulubi, di ka masisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bukal. May bilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang istak ng watang at mo'y tagumpay na nagtinilig. Ang bituin ng araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw, dalawalhating pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya dapat may mga-api, ang mamatay lang dahil sa'yo.
Mari na po tayong umupo, and in a few minutes, we'll start Game 2 featuring the Warriors and the
Packed
Beermen.
house here at the Ynares Sports Arena. Everyone eagerly anticipating the start of Game 2 between the San Miguel Beermen and the Indonesia Warriors. Beermen winning Game 1 75-70. Clutch shooting down the stretch by Aussie Taulava and company. It was the locals for the Beermen, Paul, getting it done in that fourth quarter.
And that just goes to show how deep the Beermen team actually goes, even with Williams and Williams not stepping up in Game 1. There's Asi Taulava, Val Acuna. There's other guys that can really get it done in this Beermen squad.
Statistically, Vince, very little to choose from between the two teams. The bench points was huge, though, for San Miguel in the opener.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the huge disparity there, 24-6. I mean, that's really the big difference in this game. The opportunities that San Miguel has to put so many different guys who can contribute is just insurmountable in Game 1 anyway.
37% shooting for Indonesia, but they were horrible from beyond the three-point line. Todd Purvis was unhappy with the shot selection used by the Warriors.
Yeah, they started off hot. Stan Pringle opened up the game, making his first couple of shots. However, they went away from him, tried to go their inside game, and their outside game never happened throughout the entire game. It went from 50% down to 37.
Now, Steve Thomas had a very strong game, 20 points, 17 rebounds, and he was clutch at the free throw line, 10 of 12. So Hackett Thomas did not really work for San Miguel.
No, obviously he's improved that part of his game in time for the finals. So he's leaving it all there on the court. He just was limited last game. I think he got a little bit of foul trouble. That's because of so many different options inside for San Miguel. They went at him, they made him make plays, and they made him get into foul trouble.
Last year's Defensive Player of the Year, charged with slowing down Brian Williams, and he actually did that quite well. Williams, a non-factor on the offensive end because of the defensive work of Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely. Williams had a difficult time because Thomas is just so strong and so immovable inside. So Williams had a difficult time, but I assume he's working on some things that he can, use in today's game to alleviate that.
22 points for Aussie Taulava, 10 of 14 from the floor, the ageless wonder, Paul, for San Miguel.
That's right. He just won the ASEAN MVP this year. He's a crowd favorite. He loves playing here at Ynares, and he showed it with that performance.
His biggest game of the season against the Indonesia Warriors, a team that had given him trouble in the 4 times they met in the regular season.
Yeah, he had a difficult time scoring before, but, he just showed new facets of his game. Aussie is not known for taking shots outside of 5 feet, but in the final minutes of the last game, the crucial minutes, he was hitting jump shots. Aussie Taulava hitting jump shots, I'm sure that even surprised Indonesia.
Stan Pringle, a strong first half for the Indonesia Warriors, but in the second half, they really slowed him down.
That's right, and that was the plan all along. They knew that Pringle was the key for the Warriors here in the finals, and he was the key last year for them. And Coach Leo Austria knew that they had to shut him down in order to get this done for Game 1. They knew they could not let the Warriors do what the Slammers did and steal Game 1 here at home.
Noel Bonus and Janina Chan are working our sidelines today. Let's go over to Noel.
Thank you, guys. I'm here with Matt Kawan, one of the assistant coaches for the Beermen. Now, Coach, Game 1 was a really important, crucial game because it kind of gives you a taste of, the kind of game your opponent brings. So with that said, what did you guys learn from Game 1 that you guys will apply in today's game?
Yes, Game 1 just validated our know of Indonesia. They're a guard-oriented team. They like to shoot the three and I think that's what they're gonna do today. And if there's any adjustment, we'll just be ready for it and make adjustments along the way.
Well, we cannot wait to see what you guys have in store for us on the court today. Thank you very much and good luck. Over to you, Janina.
Thank you, Noel. I'm right now with one of the assistant coaches of the Indonesia Warriors, Coach Chakorda Raka. Hi, Coach. So in Game 1, you finished really close against the Beermen. So right now, what is your team's attitude coming in today's game, and what adjustments are you going to make in order to take the win this time in Game 2?
Yeah, the truth is we want to win this game so bad. And adjustment, probably we're going to have to make more pressure on Asi and Acuna because they've been a big factor for the first game.
Right, thank you. So I guess both teams really want it so bad. Anyway, best of luck to your team. Right now, back to you, Sean Paul and Vince.
Janina, thank you. Yeah, Val Acuna, huge with 13 points, part of that bench scoring, but he gave them a lift on the offensive end.
That's right, and the Beermen had that energy, had that spark from guys like Taulava, guys like Acuna that really gave them that lift and put them over top there in the second half. They came out of the locker room completely on fire.
Leo Austria, Vince, saying, hey, Indonesia, he knows they're going to make adjustments. He believes Game 2 will be tougher. What changes, if any, does Austria make?
Well, I know for sure he's going to try to limit the output of John Smith, just like they did in the first game. In the first game, since he wasn't getting his outside shot going, it was really letting the defense collapse on Pringle, not giving him his openness and ability to create inside. But if John Smith can get some shots off, it'll definitely open up the court and allow guys like Pringle to make their mark.
All right, the Indonesia Warriors going for a split and trying to wrestle home court advantage away from the San Miguel Beermen. Starting fives in the opening tip. When we come back, Game 2 of the AirAsia ABL Finals is on Fox. Welcome back to the Ynares Sports Arena. A look into the huddle of the Indonesia Warriors. Todd Purvis trying to reset that outside shooting that was ineffective for the Warriors in Game 1. Leo Austria, an excellent defensive game plan in Game 1. And he would look for more of that, obviously, in Game 2, Vince.
Yeah, definitely. He knows that championships are won on the defensive end. They know they can score. That's pretty much obvious, especially with all the talent, the depth that they have, coming off the bench as well. But can they stop a team like Indonesia, who can be so potent when they get going?
Same starting five for Todd Purvis in Game 2 as in the opener. Pringle and Wasong in the backcourt. Chris Daniels at the power forward spot. John Smith continues to play out of position, Paul, at the small forward spot. He was a non-factor in Game 1.
That's right, and he's quite small for a small forward even. However, they're able to rotate them very well to get him open shots.
Leo Austria going with the same starting five, and Paulo Hubalde was the one working on Stan Pringle, freeing up Chris Banchero, Vince. A nice adjustment by the coach of the year, Coach Austria.
Yeah, well, he's definitely trying to get a little more quickness into that starting lineup by starting a guy like Hubalde along with Banchero. You got 2 point guards, 2 quick guys who can try to negate some of the quickness of Wusong and Pringle.
Liao, Sim, and Cern, the 3 referees in charge of today's game. And we are underway. John Smith and the Warriors control off the tap. Once again, Paulo Hubalde matching up with Stan Pringle. Taulava checking Chris Daniels now from outside. Daniels with a strong Game 1. The hook shot is short. Taulava with the rebound. questionable shot selection by Daniels. That was very early in the shot clock on their first possession of the game.
Yeah, he went right at Taulava. He's going to take the game to him because Taulava was the biggest factor in game one.
Ubalde entry pass to Brian Williams. And Williams going to work against Steve Thomas. Thomas gave him some space there, Vince.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't want to get into early foul trouble like what happened in the first game. He's keeping his hands at his side just like he wanted to.
Crossover move. Pringle with the runner. And pulled down by Leo Avenito. Avenito with some nice shooting in game one for the Beermen. John Smith on Avenito. Ubalde slides left. Corner three ball is off the mark. Here's Mario Wasong. His first touch of the game. Wasong was their best three-point threat in game one. Daniels into the lane. Way off. Banchero slides inside. A nifty feed from Banchero to Brian Williams, who already has 2 baskets.
Yeah, good sign for Brian Williams. He had a really, he was started off slow in game one. Here you see him getting 2 quick baskets already. So Williams is looking good here in the first.
Banchero going for the steal and will get it. Banchero working against, he crosses over. And a wild shot by Banchero. John Smith at the other end, and he is just clobbered by Paulo Ubalde.
Ubalde, not known to be the rock on the team, but he showed that he's got a little bit of rock in him as well, not letting Smith get to the basket.
That's a playoff foul from Paulo Ubalde. So the Warriors will inbound with 19 seconds on the shot clock. And you were saying before the game, Vince, that John Smith is a guy that they want to key on, all right, and they limited him very well in the opener.
Every shot he takes is going to be challenged. You can definitely bet on that one.
Taulava going over the back of Chris Daniels. And that'll be a shooting foul. And the former University of Georgia Bulldog, Chris Daniels, goes to the free throw line. Daniels, 6 of 9 from the floor in game one for 14 points to go along with 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. He was their best player.
That's right, but right now the Indonesian Warriors are not taking good shots. They're not working the ball around enough to free up the guy that they want to take the shot. Right now they're passing the ball once or twice and then taking it right to the basket. They need to be more patient and work the ball around and get a guy free.
Daniels, a 49% free throw shooter on the regular season, has 2 makes for 2 Beermen with 7:46 to go in the first. Taulava into the lane. Tried to scoop that into the basket. Wasong across the baseline. John Smith, pull-up jumper. Torn down by Williams.
Good defense there by Avenito, really pushing Smith to the limit to get that shot off, barely getting it off. Tough shot by Smith.
Pringle now has switched and is on Banchero. Banchero circling, 6 seconds to shoot. Avenito isolated over on the side. And that's a nice defensive sequence by Indonesia.
That's right. These guys are finally clamping down on the Beermen. They're not allowing easy baskets like they did early on from Williams.
Blocked by Brian Williams on Daniels. Beermen want to run. Oh, and then Daniels stealing it from Paulo Ubalde. I mean, he is just an absolute thief. Chris Daniels.
Yeah, I like how Brian Williams is being aggressive right now. He knows Daniels likes to take it to the basket, and he was right there to greet him with a huge block.
Warriors have it. 19 to shoot. Another look. We get the tail end. Oh, this is the
monster
previous
block.
Yeah, Brian Williams. And here's Daniels. Knocks down the 18-footer, and we're tied at 4 in the early going here.
Daniels had a great game one, 14 points on 36 minutes of action. Looking for great action from him in this game too.
Williams and a push
Yep.
by Chris Daniels. It was his elbows that got Daniels in trouble in game one.
Absolutely. You make it so easy on the referee to blow his whistle whenever you start using your hands or your elbows or your forearms. You got to play defense with your feet.
Todd Purvis having an animated conversation on the sideline with one of the referees. Paulo Hubalde gliding down the middle as the seas part.
What a nice move by Hubalde to get around Wusang, and once he got by him, it was an easy layup. Nice move by Hubalde.
Pringle trying to get untracked, gives to Smith. Daniels gives Wusong with a hand in his face. Rebound Hubalde. Banchero 1-on-2. He attacks the cup, the follow. Brian Williams got that basket. Let's see if it counts.
I don't think it would.
No, it does not. The whistle was before. You're right, Vince.
You're right.
So Banchero will get a pair, and the foul is on Mario Wusong.
Banchero showing a lot of aggressiveness, as he should. A lot of players for the Warriors played huge minutes. They've got to be tired. It's only been less than 48 hours since their last game, so recovery time hasn't been a lot for them. So you look at the guys like Chris Banchero to just keep attacking, showing that energy, and just wear down this Warrior defense.
Banchero had 15 in game one. However, he needed 15 shots to do it. 1 of 2, and it's a 7-4 lead, 5:44 to play in the first quarter. Stan Pringle, the difference maker in Indonesia Warriors' title run last year, looking for his first bucket. Wusong, they swing it, Smith, and we're still waiting for a three-pointer from John Smith.
Yeah, in the entire series so far, he hasn't shot the ball well, but that's due to the Beermen partially. They're closing out on the shooters really well. They know how these guys can shoot.
Thomas disrupting Asi Taulava. Taulava all the way up the floor, complaining that it was a last touch by Thomas. Referees often say the out-of-bounds call is the hardest one to make in a basketball game.
It ranks up there with the charge block as well. Those judgment calls, they're difficult.
Stan Pringle is 0 of 4 to begin this game. Banchero gets on his horse. And an offensive foul on Brian Williams. And that's a charge.
Just as you mentioned it, Vince, those are the difficult calls.
You're going to say, yeah, exactly. You're going to say he held him off a bit.
Brian Williams protesting. Timeout on the floor. 4:51 to go in the first. 7-4. The Beermen lead it. You're watching Game 2 of the AirAsia ABL Finals. Just before the break, Brian Williams called for a charge. Let's see if we can see it here. He did go into Steve Thomas, but I don't know.
That's
wow. And that's big because that's 2 fouls on Brian Williams, and we're just midway through the opening quarter.
They need his production, not necessarily only on the offensive end. They need him for rebounding, they need him for hustle, they need him on defense as well. having Brian Williams in foul trouble is going to make the other side of the Williams law firm come to town and have to do his work today.
And he is in the game. That is Justin Williams. If you're just tuning in, this game 2 of the AirAsia ABL Finals. Beermen taking the opener 75-70. Stan Pringle offloading. Daniels blocked by Justin Williams.
Wow, Justin Williams had 7 big blocks, a big factor there on the defensive end in game 1, and there he's showing it right his first few seconds in the game. Gets a block.
Some guys are instant offense. Justin Williams, instant defense. He gets in there, blocks it right away.
Christian Satepu is in the game. John Smith, struggling with the shot for the second straight game, sits down. Daniels going on the baseline, and that's an offensive foul that feels an awful lot like a makeup call.
Yeah, that's the second foul on Daniels, and that's going to affect the Warriors more than the Beermans with Williams' 2 fouls because they don't go as deep as the Beermen.
Todd Purvis calling a bad call. Well, saying bad call to the referee, and he's still talking to him.
3 team fouls on the Warriors. Daniels, the loose ball, and he picked it up when it was on the line. So it'll be the Beermen with 12 seconds to shoot.
Indonesia just got to get more guys going besides their 2 imports. They got to get maybe even Satepo, who kind of had a lift for them off of the bench last game.
The center, Steve Thomas, picking off that pass. Stan Pringle. Now with Talava on him. Satepu from the corner. And Banchira with the rebound. Let's go over to Janina Chan.
I got a chance to listen into the Warriors huddle, and Coach Todd basically just kept telling his players to push the ball and attack the rim. And most of all, he added that they've got to start owning the momentum and securing it while working hard on the boards and just being aggressive with all their plays from start to finish. That's it for now. Back to you guys.
Janina, thank you. Leo Avenido at midcourt committing the foul.
Yeah.
So that's 3 team fouls on the Beermen.
Yeah, that's a good foul by Leo Avenido. He knows what Stan Pringle can do in the open court, and he put an end to it before anything could happen. That sends him to the line.
You know,
Chris Daniels coming out of the game, Vince, coming out of the game, and Jarek Kanyata along with Amin Priantono now on the floor.
Yeah, definitely one of the things that they don't want to see as far as San Miguel defense goes is, Pringle coming a full head of steam, running right down that court for a fast break. So I tend to agree with you. Good foul by Leo Avenido, even though he gets to shoot free throws.
The former Penn State Nittany Lion, Stan Pringle, hits both. A low-scoring start to Game 2 with 3:32 to play in the first. Justin Williams against Satepu. Gets by Satepu with ease and scores on a leaner.
That's a textbook up and under move. Great play by Williams there. Gets the defense in the air and just goes right under him for the easy bucket.
Jarek Kanyata with the high dribble. Jarek Fortuna defending him. Now Banchero with Pringle. Crossover, and Kanyata taking over. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Pringle from the corner, and he gets his own rebound. Fresh 24 for the Warriors.
What a killer. You work hard on defense for that long just so they can get the ball back and get another shot like that. Good shot there by Thomas.
Thomas continues to be in a groove.
Those things kind of deflate your defensive intensity when you work so hard and then you give it up.
They have Fortuna down in the corner. Avenido puts it on the floor. Kicks back. Taulava from the elbow. Rebound Kanyata. Warriors are limiting the Beermen to 1 shot. From the corner, short for Priantono. Fortuna gives Banchero on the pull-up J. Pringle doing a lot of rebounding work here in the early going. Here's Noel Bonus.
Thanks, guys. A lot of excitement over here on the San Miguel side. Now, what it looks like is going to happen is I got to talk to one of the coaches, and what they said is they're going to utilize their strengths. Their strengths meaning their post, and their post being Aussie Taulava and Brian Williams. And as you can see from just a very few minutes of the game, Taulava and Williams are definitely being utilized and performing rather well. So let's see how long they can keep this going. Back to you guys.
A timely report from Noel as Justin Williams forced a foul from Christian Satepu. And Val Acuna comes into the game. He was a huge lift for them off the bench in the opener, Paul, with 13 points.
That's right, he did it all. Hit some big threes, then he took it right to the basket in the second half. So let's see what he's got in store for us here in game 2.
Banchero dumps the pick and roll to Taulava. Very comfortable going off the window. Taulava with 4.
You know, Sean, Coach Leo Austria was mentioning that in game 1, they weren't getting a lot of production out of their 2 imports, but Aussie played like the 3rd import, the local import, scoring 22 big points, and he shows that he can score.
At the other end, Steve Thomas with a tough basket muscling his way inside.
That's right, the Indonesia Warriors they have to find scoring elsewhere instead of just taking threes if they're not going down. And lucky for them, it's still just a 1-point lead for the Beermen.
Banchero stopping. Taulava 1 dribble. Back to Acuna. 4 seconds to shoot. Justin Williams pulling it down, and the foul is on Priantono. Now the protest from the Warriors is that Williams had camped himself in the paint, and it should have been a 3-second violation. Taulava taken out of the game. Eric Mink, a former PBA MVP, now on the floor.
This is Eric's first action here in these finals, so I expect him to be fired up and showing a lot of aggression.
The complete line for Justin Williams in game 1, 6 points, 6 rebounds, and as mentioned, a spectacular 7 blocks. 1 of 2 for the 43% regular season free throw shooter. Smith dumping to Thomas. Thomas looking for cutters. Instead, he'll put it up and gets the shooter's roll.
Hey, that's 2 jump shots in a row for Thomas. So, he's getting it done right now for the Warriors, and the rest of his team has got to follow his lead.
You know, the Beermen looks like they have a bit of a mismatch with Satepu guarding Williams. They got to look to get inside, just like what he did a while ago with that up and under.
Eric Mink getting tied up. This is Banchero with 1 second on the shot clock, and Justin Williams beats the buzzer.
Great
and the
drop
Warriors
pass there
here,
by
1
Banchero.
second left from midcourt. Banchero giving Williams an opportunity to get into position. Beermen 14, Warriors 12, a close first quarter. The second quarter when we come back on Fox. Welcome back to the Ynares Sports Arena with time winding down the first quarter here. Banchero with a dish to Justin Williams, 1 second on the shot clock. Williams and Williams enjoying their time inside here in the first quarter.
That's right. The Beermen just throwing a lot of size at the Warriors, and right now the Warriors don't look like they can handle it. With Brian Williams in foul trouble, Justin Williams saw that Sitepa was on his back, and he knew he could take him right to the basket, which he's done so far in the first.
Vince, the Warriors, 4 of 18 in the first quarter, but they're only down by 2. I think Todd Purvis is going to be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. If you can shoot not that great and only be down by 2, you got to like your chances. One thing I'm looking for both of these teams is really step it up on defense. They went over that mark right now where it's a really low-scoring game, but definitely this is going to be a close game.
Eric Mink, the pass too tall for Justin Williams. As you mentioned, this is his first action in the series. Very little playing time in the semifinals, so he's rusty. Stan Pringle with only 2 points in the first quarter. Thomas underneath on a double pump. Williams gets it outside.
Yeah, Thomas had to think about that twice. He saw Justin Williams right there, and Justin Williams is just a great shot blocker. He knew he had to give him a couple of pump fakes, and it was a difficult shot to make.
Banchero to Acuna, and he's fouled in three-point territory, so 3 at the line for Acuna.
Again, this is a guy that's very long. He's got a lot of length. His arms are really long, so it's hard to get a hand up on him without, touching part of his arm there. It's hard to try to get a shot block on him.
Leo Austria talking it over with his floor general, Chris Banchero. Banchero finding the open men here in the first half.
Look at that high release. I love the way the shot looks because it's really difficult to block him. If you get a hand up on him, he's still going to get a clean look.
And I'm sure Indonesia has dialed in on the number of Mr. Acuna Matata because they realize how much he hurt them in Game 1, coming off the bench and just being a huge spark.
Right, after a regular season where he had a modest 5-point per game average, he has really put it together in the playoffs for San Miguel. Stan Pringle has not yet scored from the floor. Inside to Daniels, playing with 2 fouls. Daniels, hook shot. Tapped around, and Justin Williams skying for the board.
You got to give credit to Eric Mink as well. He's really just spelling some time because Brian Williams is in a bit of foul trouble. So he's giving them some good minutes, getting 2 good stops on Daniels.
Justin Williams was off balance. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Warriors. Full 24 seconds on the clock for the Beermen. Banchero, crossover move. They swing it for Tuna. 3-ball, yes!
So many different weapons that you can just come out with for San Miguel. And once they get their 3-point shooting, look out.
Pringle along the baseline to Priantono. They reverse. Pringle now 0 of 4 from the floor. Banchero on the triple. Count it!
Wow, that's 2 back-to-back 3-pointers now for the Beermen, and Coach Todd Purvis is going to have to call a timeout.
It comes with 8:03 in the second quarter. Chris Banchero with 4 points. Beermen getting untracked from outside as we step away. A San Miguel Beermen team not normally known for three-point shooting with back-to-back triples here to begin the second quarter.
Great shot there by Jared Fortuna, and then Chris Banchero follows it up with a three of his own and stretches his lead out to 10 points.
Banchero now with 4 for the Beermen, looking to take a commanding 2-0 lead in this AirAsia ABL Finals. Mario Wasong with the drive. He goes board and cord for the deuce. 22-14 Beermen.
Again, look at how the Beermen are closing out on their shooters, not allowing the three-point shot, making him take the much tougher runner off the glass.
Beermen had 24 bench points in game 1. They already have 13 in game 2. Here's Mink from outside.
And by the way, Sean, that's 13-0. There's 0 points from the bench from Indonesia.
From outside, Mario Wasong dialing 3 and connecting, cutting the Beermen lead to 5.
Yeah, that's how the Warriors play. Even if they're not shooting well, they're going to keep shooting until they shoot their way back into this game.
Screen by Williams. Fortuna has it taken away by Cañada. Pringle inside, layup, and a travel call, so that wipes the basket off the board.
What a change of fortunes there. I thought it could have even been a foul and an
Right.
and one possible three-point play. Instead, the referee sees the travel and calls the turnover.
So it remains a 5-point cushion for the Beermen. 6:50 to go in the first half. Changes by Leo Austria, Taulava, and Avenido back out onto the floor.
I think Eric Ming gave them a pretty good lift off the bench there. Again, spelling the time that Brian Williams has to sit out with his early foul trouble.
Paul, Indonesia going into a 2-3 zone. Todd Purvis trying to take away the middle of the lane for San Miguel.
Yeah, they've been having their way inside. They can't have it that easily, and really something's got to happen in order for them to get a defensive stop, which they did.
Fade away Jay for Aussie Taulava.
Maybe we should call him the Renaissance Rock.
Right.
He is just showing it.
Steve Thomas barreling his way to the cup. 24-19 SMB. Thomas with 8 now for Indonesia. Trying to take it away and forces Taulava to commit the turnover.
Good D there by Thomas and Cañada as well. By the way, Cañada was Coach Leo Austria, the coach of San Miguel's star point guard in Adamson University some years ago.
So while Austria probably doesn't want Cañada to
too
succeed today, and
hopefully didn't teach him too much.
Right.
That's probably what I was thinking.
in general, I'm sure he's happy for Jared Cañada.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thomas offering up the 18-footer. Daniels with the O board.
You know, Daniels may not be the biggest guy on the floor, but he's always managing to be able to get the right tip, get the right
Oh, the
time,
reverse, and then Daniels is stripped. Sorry, Paul. And then a foul behind the play. That's a brutal sequence for Indonesia. Let's send it courtside to Janina.
In the Warriors huddle earlier, Coach Purvis stressed that they've got to concentrate on limiting the Beermen's fast break and that they've just got to keep pushing the ball. He was also quite motivating to his players, telling them to just keep playing physical, keep going, keep going. We'll see how they execute this as the first half closes. There you have it, guys. Back to you.
Wusong up to Cañada, cannot finish. Hubalde now to Avenido. B. Williams, a little shoulder fake, follows up his own miss. Blocked by Chris Daniels as Brian Williams falls to the floor, and he has been attending the Leo Avenido Drama School.
But I like what I'm seeing from him in the first half. He's being very aggressive despite the 2 fouls. He's already been out for several minutes, coming right back and getting a lot of touches. Taulava with 2 defenders collapsing on him outside to Hubalde.
They're just giving Aussie Taulava the 18-footer, and he is taking full advantage.
I think somebody better send a memo or something to Indonesia. Aussie can shoot the rock about 15, 20 feet out now.
40-year-old Filipino men across the nation are working on their jump shots now. Vince, he's on.
They should be. I mean, that's the way to negate the great height and strength of guys like Thomas and Daniels.
Look at the confidence that Aussie Taulava has.
Yeah.
He's not taking any time at all. He knows what he can do from that range and picking up right where he left off in game one.
Maybe it's the new blonder mohawk. I think that could possibly be it.
Steve Thomas going inside, and it seems they're letting Steve Thomas get some space in the paint. 26-21. Baskets continuing to be hard to come by here in the first half. Taulava from the free throw line. A rare miss from the rock. Stan Pringle in the open floor going back. Acuna with those long arms. He's got Ubalde with him on the wing. Acuna with the keep.
And a nice move. He was looking at Ubalde. The defense fell for the fake, and he took it right to the rack.
Acuna with a pair of baskets. Daniels a long two. That's good.
It's not a picture perfect looking jump shot, but whenever it goes in, the coaches will always say, just keep taking it.
John Smith is at the scorer's table, set to check in. Williams rushed his jump shot. Cañada outletting, and he's got a wing three. Jarek Cañada trying to get the three-point attack going for the Warriors, who close to within two. Coach Austria calling timeout. We're coming right back on Fox Sports.
Welcome back to the ABL Finals, guys. And you know what? The initial plan for the Beermen was to utilize their strengths, and that they are doing. But the thing is, the guards also have the hot hands and are also shooting in this game. So it's pretty much free-for-all. The Beermen are performing really well. And what they want to do now is to identify the shooters of the Warriors and just put more pressure on them. But otherwise, this game is really a really good game, and it's really intense. Back to you guys.
This entire series, Noel, continues to be close, to be sure. 28-26, the Beermen leading with 3:15 to go in the first half. Jarek Cañada, guys, just before the break, knocking one down from downtown. The three-point shooting had largely abandoned the Indonesia Warriors until that moment.
Yeah, some signs of life from the perimeter for the Warriors, which is a good sign for them. However, it's their main shooters. Cañada's not known for hitting a lot of three-point shots. You know, they rely heavily on John Smith, Stan Pringle, and Mario Wusong. Let's see if that shot can get the other guys going.
Well, definitely, this is the put up or shut up time of this game right now for Indonesia, because, you know, San Miguel looked to be pushing almost a big double-digit lead, but they came roaring back. Indonesia hitting a couple jump shots, showing a lot of activity and a lot of energy.
B. Williams, Taulava, Acuna, Banchero, and Avenito for the Beermen. Cañada, Pringle, Daniels, Thomas, and Wusong for Indonesia. Avenito pulls up, gets all net over the top of Jarek Cañada.
Leo Avenito, former MVP of these Asian Basketball League games, showing why. Getting a nice bucket there within traffic.
Banchero with the steal. He has really disrupted the entry passing of Indonesia. Avenito to Taulava, swinging across the court. Outside, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Taulava driving and tapped in by Brian Williams.
Yeah, that's one of the things you can do in this league when the ball is just hanging out and if it's sitting at the rim, he's allowed to tap that in. So a nice heads-up play there by Brian Williams.
Sure, but Indonesia failing to box out Brian Williams on that play, Vince.
Well, he's a big guy and not easily moved around. But when you got a guy 6'9", 6'10" like Asi going to the basket, he commands your attention, and it gave a little space to Brian Williams.
Steve Thomas has 12 points for the Warriors, who are more than hanging around.
Yeah, he's really feeling it on the way back to the timeout earlier on. He said he wanted the ball, he wanted to have it back, and lots of touches means lots more points for him.
Banchero, with nobody within 5 feet, has time to set his feet, get his hair just right, and knock down the three.
You would think that you could close out on Banchero because he's already hit an outside shot. Fortuna has as well, and the Warriors really need to put some pressure on their shooters from the Beermen.
You know,
2 threes in the first half for Banchero.
You know, I looked early on at the energy levels. San Miguel almost having a little too much energy, and a lot of their shots were long. However, now they've calmed down, and the shots are starting to fall.
Back-to-back threes for Jarek Kanyata. 35-31. Both offenses now heating up. 53 seconds to go in the first half. 6 to fire for Avenito, the one-hander. Daniels extending for the rebound. Here's Pringle from the wing. Oh, Chris Daniels just lost the handle on that one. Acuna with the floater. Gets his own miss, blocked by Thomas. Brian Williams, and Steve Thomas letting Brian Williams go by him once again.
But great move there by Williams as well. Very active, nice little spin. And, you know, he went to his strong side as far as his right side and went up for the easy two.
Warriors will hold for one shot with 19 seconds to go in the first half. This is the play of Brian Williams. At the other end of the floor, knocked out by the Beermen. 8.8 seconds left for Indonesia to get one off. Eric Menk comes into the game. Now Todd Purvis will take a timeout. And this is interesting because Leo Austria in the papers today here in Manila saying that one of the things the Beermen need to do is work on defending the inbound play. Austria is citing that there were 3 instances where they scored, Indonesia scored off an inbound play. So here it is, a big one here at the tail end of the first half.
Yeah, the Indonesia Warriors are a team that they like to take that quick shot off the inbound. It's usually Stan Pringle or somebody cutting along the baseline, or maybe Chris Daniels. So, you know, recognizing that is a good thing for Coach Austria and enabling him to stop those easy plays.
All Todd Purvis wanted out of this Friday-Sunday 2-game set was a split of the series, with games 3 and 4 coming up Wednesday and Saturday, game 4 if necessary. And you can see those games on Fox Sports, and you can also catch it via the live stream at ASEANBasketballLeague.com. Check out the ABL on Twitter at ABL News, and you can like the ABL, as the 3 of us do, at Facebook.com. So Leo Austria setting up the defense for San Miguel, on top by 6 with a little over 8 seconds remaining. Broadcasting legend Ronnie Nathaniel in attendance here at the Ynares Sports Arena. So John Smith is the inbounder. Chris Daniels now, time winding down. Pringle for 3. His first outside shot. That comes with 2.7 seconds left, and the Beermen will take a timeout. And Todd Purvis arguing, saying that they stopped the clock a little too fast.
You know, the Beermen defended the inbounds play quite well. It took a couple of seconds before John Smith found Mario Wusong, but Pringle was able to get the shot he wanted. Avenito tried to close out on him, but you've got to be a little quicker when you're trying to close out on a guy like Stan Pringle.
Vince, the bench scoring just continues to be phenomenal for San Miguel.
Yeah, like I said, in the first game, they were outscoring them 24-6. The big one there was Valacuña coming up with huge numbers, getting those outside jumpers going, as well as driving to the basket.
Cañada with 6 points, going against his former college coach, Leo Austria.
I think we'll be reading in the newspaper again tomorrow, Sean, about these inbound plays of Indonesia. Coach Todd Purvis seems to have San Miguel's number, because every time he has an inbound play, he gets his score.
Yeah, Leo Austria will certainly have that to talk to the Beermen about at halftime. Justin Williams from midcourt, blocked by Daniels. The Beermen led by 2 at the end of the first quarter, and they will take a 3-point lead into the half, trying to take a 2-0 lead over the Indonesia Warriors in search of their first ABL title. Halftime analysis when we return on Fox. At the half in Pasig City, the San Miguel Beermen leading the Indonesia Warriors 37-34, having already won Game 1 of the 2013 AirAsia ABL Finals. Welcome back, everyone. Paul Pilelli, Vince Hezon. I am Sean Fark. We're in the first half. The San Miguel Beermen really getting into the paint with authority. Brian Williams, Justin Williams, Ozzy Taulava. It's the bigs once again for San Miguel.
Yeah, well, they just got so many options. When they can hit their outside shots, it opens up a lot of stuff inside. They've got 8 players who have already scored in this ball game, as opposed to Indonesia's 5.
You know, for the Indonesia Warriors, much better three-point shooting here in Game 2, Paul. 4 of 11 from beyond.
That's right. They started out 0 for 6 in the first. However, they kept shooting their way back in it. Starting with Jared Cañadas, and Stan Pringle followed it up there to close out the quarter. Mario Wusong hit one. They went 4 for 5 in the second. So they've really picked up their three-point shooting there.
The bench, we've talked all season long about how deep this Beermen team is, and Leo Austria putting paid to that with another great bench performance.
Yeah, well, they got so many guys who they can count on just coming off the bench to give them quality minutes. Even guys like Eric Mek, who haven't even played in a game or two, comes in, gives a nice little spell to Brian Williams on defense so he can get back, because he was in foul trouble, so he can get back into the game.
Ozzy Taulava with 6 points. And we take a look statistically at the first half, how it shook out. 3-point shooting, solid for both teams. A +8 in rebounding for San Miguel. As mentioned, points in the paint favoring the Beermen, but part of that has to be attributed to the fact that Steve Thomas is clearly letting the Beermen big men get space inside. He's trying to avoid the foul.
That's right, but now they've got to really put some pressure on them. We're already coming into the second half. They don't have to worry about that anymore. As you see, Thomas is aggressive on the offensive end with 12 points, but he's really got to start putting some stops on the other end.
7 different Beermen scoring in that first half. Brian Williams, in fact, 8. And Brian Williams with 8 points. Chris Banchero with 7, and he's 2 of 4 from the floor. So Chris Banchero, he has been a huge part of this Beermen attack, finding the open man. He's driving into the lane, creating space on the outside for the fellow Beermen.
Well, they're definitely going to have to do a little bit better job in this second half of increasing their assists and lessening their turnovers. They lost that battle in the first half, and I think that was what spelled the difference, in Indonesia coming back and almost tying this game.
All right, let's go over now to Noel Bonus.
Thank you, guys. I'm here with Anime Taulava, the beautiful wife of Ozzy Taulava. And so, Anime, I'm sure you're really proud of your husband. He's performed so well, and every time we interview him, he always says that it's you and his kids, your kids, that are his inspiration and his motivation. Now, what exactly do you and the kids do to motivate Ozzy?
I don't really know what we do. No, he's just really motivated to play. He really wants to get this championship, and we just do our, the small things. We try to watch his games whenever they're here, and I always remind him to just give his best whenever he steps on the floor. But it's really his drive, that pushes him to do his best. And how I wish we could have watched his games outside of the country, but then I just gave birth like a month ago, so hopefully soon I could.
Well, whatever you guys are doing, it's working, so keep doing it. And thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Enjoy the rest of the game. Over to you, Janina.
Thank you, Noel. I am right now with Bacon Austria. Yes, he is the son of San Miguel Beermen's head coach, Leo Austria. So, Bacon, the season is nearly coming to a close, and the Beermen, they've been performing really well, and they've been topping the standings. And with Coach Leo being awarded as the ASEAN Coach of the Year, how proud are you exactly of your father?
I'm really proud of my father because, first of all, it's his first stint here in the ABL as a head coach, and he already won Coach of the Year. And the next thing is 16-game winning streak isn't really bad. Well, it's history already for this league. So I'm really proud of him because of his dedication also to this game. Sometimes family time is being sacrificed, but we understand. We all know that he's doing it for our family also.
All right, so did he confide with you about today's game? How was it?
Well, it's been good. I've been playing with this, practicing with this team for months also before I left. They're showing a lot of toughness in there, and I hope they continue to work hard as a team.
All right, it's great for you to be here. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thank you so much for your time. Back to you, Sean, Paul, and Vince.
Janina, thank you. It's easy to forget that Leo Austria at the start of the season was not the Beermen head coach. It was Bobby Parks, and Bobby Parks, for health issues, had to step down, and sadly, Mr. Parks passing away earlier this year. But Leo Austria taking over the team just before the season start, and now he's the ABL Coach of the Year.
You know, they wrote it on their warm-up jerseys. This is for you, Coach Bobby. You know, that's their impetus for starting this season and giving their very best for the San Miguel Beermen.
Leo Austria, talking at a press conference on Thursday, saying that Todd Purvis and I predicting a close game, and he's referring to Game 1. They kept that promise, and it's extended now, just a 3-point lead here in Game 2.
Yeah, it's back and forth for both teams the entire way throughout Game 1, and right now, halfway through Game 2, expect that to go throughout the series.
Todd Purvis, in that same conference, saying we have a complete and total respect for them, referring to the Beermen, but we're a confident group of men as well, unquote. And, you know, Steve Thomas repeatedly for the first half saying, get me the ball, and he's certainly feeling it here over the first 20 minutes.
That's right, the only player in double digits from either side, so as long as he can keep that up, he can open up the perimeter for the outside shooters to get going for the Warriors.
3 points separating the San Miguel Beermen and the Indonesia Warriors. When we return the third quarter, stay with us on Fox. We welcome you back to the Ynares Sports Arena in Pasig City. Anthony Macri, the ABL CEO, sitting beside the ABLs. Caroline Mahendra taking in this game at the Ynares Sports Arena. 37-34. The Beermen lead the Indonesia Warriors. Already up 1-0 in the series. Stan Pringle, 1 of 7, Paul Pilelli, in that first half, and yet they're only down by 3. Coach Todd Purvis would take it.
That's right. Just like the Beermen did in Game 1, they stayed just close enough in order to close the gap before halftime. That's what the Warriors did here in Game 2 in order to keep close enough and make themselves competitive throughout the second half.
Here's Pringle. Pringle backing it out. He's guarded by Paulo Hubalde, gets inside and scores. So that's 2 buckets in a row for Pringle, Vince Ezon.
Well, that's a guy who can definitely score. We've seen that time and time again. If he gets going, the sky's the limit. But they need to get other guys involved. I'm telling you, guys like John Smith, he started the game, but he has still 0 points to his name.
Talava kicks. Banchero off the side of the rim. Pringle dumping Wusong with a hand in his face, and Pringle gets the rebound. No good on the floater.
Yeah, that floater hasn't been going down for him, but he's a guy that can get into the lane and create problems, so look for him to keep doing that here in the second half.
B. Williams with a strong first half. Gives to Talava, knocked away by Thomas. Banchero unable to defend, and Pringle is going to the line. Let's update you on the foul situation. 2 fouls on both Brian Williams and Ozzy Talava for the Beermen. 2 fouls on Chris Daniels and Christian Satepu. Pringle joining the Indonesia Warriors at the tail end of last season, previously playing pro ball in the Ukraine. So Jakarta, a little bit different than Kiev.
A lot different.
It's a little hotter.
Talava gives to Paulo Hubalde. Brian Williams, the dump.
That's 2 times that Aussie has brought the ball down, and both times either he got it stolen or stopped out of bounds. He's got to stop bringing that ball down. He's got to chin it and just go up strong.
6 seconds on the shot clock. Banchero back. Talava jumping inside. A line drive shot taken off by Chris Daniels. Purvis wants them to press. Along the baseline, Smith, no good. Loose ball. Back to Smith, in rhythm. John Smith still yet to get untracked.
If you're Coach Purvis, you got to start realizing this guy is just not getting it done, and you got to get somebody in there who can put the ball in the basket if you want to win this game.
And that, of course, the dilemma facing Todd Purvis, his bench very thin. Pringle jumps inside, back to Daniels, now John Smith. And a foul off the ball. That's John Smith in a collision with Brian Williams. For Smith, that is his first foul of the afternoon and the first team foul for Indonesia here in the third quarter.
Yeah, John Smith really trying to make something happen. You really got to feel for a shooter that, I was watching him earlier in warm-ups and at halftime as well. He was knocking them all down, most of them anyway, but, at game time, he's unable to get any of them to go.
Well, if that's going to be the case, you got to just, make your adjustments. Try to take a step in. Because sometimes you're just trying to go for that 3 all the time, but, sometimes you can take one step in, it gives you that much more confidence, and you can knock it down.
Brian Williams on a putback effort gets an and 1 and will go to the line.
Yeah, nice powerful move here by Brian Williams to grab that ball. And he had three Warriors surrounding him, took it up strong, and that's what you like to see from a big center.
Former University of Tennessee volunteer Brian Williams completing the three-point play. The ABL is the first pro stop for Williams, playing last season for the Malaysia Dragons. Thomas giving, Pringle cutting, Daniels inside, the foul on Taulava.
Yeah, nice extra pass. Pringle recognized he had Daniels cutting to the basket, plus that little floater hasn't been going down for him, so shoveling it over to Daniels, and Daniels was able to draw the foul, a third one on Asa Taulava.
So for the moment, Leo Austria keeping Taulava in the game. Daniels in that first half had 6 points along with 4 rebounds, 1 assist, a steal, 2 blocks, a little bit of everything from CD for the Warriors.
Just a lot of effort, too. You saw him just hustling, going for all those offensive rebounds, and doing all the little things that coaches like and help you to win ball games.
Let's go courtside to Noel.
Thanks, guys. So the Beermen still want to stick to their strategy of utilizing their posts, but not just that, but they also want to continue to attack the posts of the Warriors, and that seems to be their main target, and their aim is to pretty much put the most pressure on them and just kind of wear them out, and it seemed to be working just fine in the first half. Let's see if they can keep it up in the second. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Noel. A rebound ripped down by John Smith. Nothing doing for the Beermen on that possession. Thomas in a wrestling match with Brian Williams. Loose ball, and Chris Daniels colliding with the referee. And you know, that referee, that was a charge.
Was that a block or a charge? I want to know.
That's a foul on the ref.
All right. Well,
He gets an appreciative roar from the crowd. Take a look here.
let's see it one more time.
Now, if you're the ref, this is a very large man coming at you.
Yeah.
Got blindsided, too. He wasn't even looking at that direction, just watching the ball, which he should be. So way to stay on top of that play, ref.
Referee getting a little too close to the action there.
Danger pay, I think, in line for that gentleman. Asi Taulava from outside. Stan Pringle with Wusong. Pringle keeps. Foul on Hubalde. Pringle for a three-point play opportunity. He would tie at 42 for the Beermen.
He's so dangerous in the open court, and Ubaldi knew it. He tried to back him off a little bit, but you know, either foul him hard or get out of the way, because sending him to the line, you know, that's giving him a chance to tie this game right now.
Coach Austria quick to pull the trigger, getting in Jarek Fortuna, who came in and sparked off the bench, hitting a three-point play.
They didn't seal out Chris Daniels, and off the missed Pringle free throw, he goes in off the glass. Warriors now take over 43-42.
Yeah, they've quietly made up the deficit, and you know, like I said, stayed within striking distance and able to take the lead here in the third.
Brian Williams, spin move against two defenders, whacked over the top, out of bounds by Daniels.
And there you see a cameraman getting the rough end of it. On one end we saw the ref, this time it was a camera, so very physical game for everyone.
We could be next. You know, right now, as we see a great inbounds play by Banchero, we see guys like a Pringle getting more and more involved. He's got 11 points. They have got, they had the lead for a second there, and that's without a guy like Smith even scoring a point. So good things for Coach Todd to look forward to.
Daniels on the 18-foot pump connects. Seesaw battle here, 45-44 Warriors, 4:52 to go in the third.
We have got ourselves a series, not just a game. It was like this in game one, and they just, you know, giving us a whole bunch of entertainment offensively, defensively here in game two.
A game better than the hype. Here's Williams inside. Daniels in perfect position for the rebound. Pringle spin move and blocked by Justin Williams. And I get a little applause by Stan Pringle, acknowledging the tremendous athleticism of Jay Williams. Timeout on the floor. Warriors 44, Beermen trailing by 1. Will return you to the Ynares Sports Arena in a moment. A moment ago, a total denial by Justin Williams.
And what we didn't see there, well, maybe we'll get to see it, is how far he came from. He's just jumps up a split second later, but that doesn't matter because he's got so much length and he's so good with timing his jumps.
And you can see Stan Pringle clapping, saying, yeah, he got roofed on that one.
I saw a crowd holding up a sign saying the King Eraser with Justin Williams. I don't know about the King because somebody already has that nickname, I think, but definitely the Eraser is a proper moniker considering how many blocks he has in the series so far.
Pringle throwing it away. A look at Jude Turcato, one of the commentators of the ABL throughout the season.
And the head of Fox Sports.
Did a fantastic job here in Pasig City. Banchero, Williams, Avenido goes inside and gets the deuce from 18.
That's what you were talking about, Vince, when a shooter's, just take that step inside. It gets you a little closer, makes that shot easier, and it gets your game going, your offensive game going.
Raises your confidence just so much, just if you can get that shot in. That first one.
Rebound by Thomas as Brian Williams mistimed his jump.
Wow.
Loose ball, and it rolls out to Avenido. It is getting very physical in the paint at both ends.
Coach Todd is beside himself. A lot of contact there and no blowing of the whistle, so
Banchero, good pass. Williams can't hit the three. Fortuna in a battle with the point guard, Cañada. Banchero attacks the basket. Thomas outlets. Cañada in a foot race. Now, is it a shooting foul? Cañada putting up a prayer. And the foul is on the floor. So they'll have it with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Once again, here's Janina Chan.
Coming in from the Warriors huddle, a very motivating and supporting Coach Todd Purvis basically told his players to keep making those moves and that this is for the win. He added that they've got to play with their heads, speed it up, and just dive for those loose balls. And this looks like they've been scoring more points right now. And back to you guys.
Janina, thank you. They actually changed the call. The initial signal from the official was that the foul was on the floor, but after a discussion, they say, hey, Cañada was in the act, so two at the line. They got it right.
Yeah, good foul by Fortuna, but an even better job by Cañada to sell that foul by putting the ball up, throwing it up, so making it look like it was a shot attempt anyway.
Even though he probably had zero chance to make it, just throwing it up makes the referee think it was an actual jump or a shot attempt.
Cañada with two makes. And the Warriors here teeter-tottering with the Beermen up 47-46. 3:01 to go in the third. Sitepu is out on Avenido. Banchero trying to get free for the jumper, and it rattles in and out for Chris Banchero. Cañada giving Daniels, and knocked out, still Warriors ball. And as it got rim, they got a full 24 seconds on the clock.
Good effort there by Thomas going against two San Miguel defenders and able to tap that ball out and regain possession for Indonesia.
Christian Sitepu putting it on the floor. Daniels along the baseline. Fortuna speeding up the floor, now stops. They swing it, Banchero from the weak side. Justin Williams gathers himself. A wild attempt from Jay Williams.
I thought Thomas did a great job defensively there and stayed on the ground, didn't get his hands inside the area of Justin Williams and able to manage to stay away from the foul.
Oh, Stan Pringle with a stop and start, befuddling the entire Beermen defense.
Such an excellent just pause there. Froze the defender, froze Jay Williams. Went against Brian Williams, who's not known for his shot blocking ability, and able to put it down.
Pringle with 8 points in the quarter. 3 from the side for Fortuna, and we are locked at 49.
Yep, the answer back three. The Beermen did that a couple of times in game one, and right there, I love seeing the answer back basket, especially from the outside.
Fortuna 2 out of 3 from three-point land in this ball game.
Sitepu trying to stroke it, comes up with a brick. Fortuna pushing the pace.
Look at
I
Thomas
think it was
get
out of
back.
control there. Kanyata has got a man with him. Sitepu bounce pass. An ugly shot attempted by Sitepu, who got Brian Williams off his feet. This game being played at 60 miles an hour. The foul came before the shot. "15 seconds to shoot for the Beermen. 57.7 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Val Acuna on the floor now for San Miguel.
Val Acuna having a tough day at the office as compared to game one. Only 1 out of 5 in this first 3 quarters.
Acuna from outside. Justin Williams unable to control. Now they're saying a jump ball. I'd like to take another look at this. The possession arrow favors San Miguel. Talava comes back in. Brian Williams sits down. Leo Austria protecting Williams from picking up a foul at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, look at this the play by Justin Williams, skying up there to get the rebound. This is have another look at the jump ball call here.
I do not understand that call.
Perhaps he didn't see it, so whenever you don't see it or you get confused, best to just call a jump ball.
Warriors have it. 31 seconds to go. They can play 2 for 1 with a quick shot here. Pringle again going inside, but the 2 for 1 is off with 16 seconds left.
That last play by Pringle was reminiscent of the one he just did a while ago. You get a nice little stutter and froze the defender in Justin Williams and went straight to the basket.
Banchero from outside. 3 is no good. Time for 1 shot here. And Pringle was not aware of how much time was left. 10 points, though, in the quarter for Stan Pringle. Indonesia trying to square this series at a game apiece. Lead at 51-49. The fourth quarter when we return on Fox Sports. Seven quarters into this series, and it continues to be razor thin. The margin between the San Miguel Beermen and the Indonesia Warriors. Stan Pringle, 15 points on the day, 10 points in that third quarter. And with this three-point shot struggling, Pringle is attacking the rim.
And for the entire Warriors team, they've started to go away from that three-point shot since it's not going for them and starting to look for other ways to score, and it's working out for them right now, especially in the third quarter.
Vince, how does San Miguel contain Stan Pringle?
Well, you just got to play him square. You can't let him go either direction, and you got to help. You know, whenever he does get around somebody, somebody has got to be there to meet Pringle right after he gets by one guy.
Janina Chan, Noel Bonus, Paul Pilelli, Vince Hezon, and Sean Farquhar on the call for this one today. Corner three, nowhere close for Sitepu. Valacuna now in transition. Acuna goes inside to Taulava. Taulava with a mismatch here against Satepu. Help defense from Chris Daniels, and he shovels it up to Pringle. So they nullify the rock on that play. Pringle looking to post up Fortuna. Help defense from Taulava. Daniels with the wraparound pass. The foul is on Aussie Taulava. That would be his fourth.
You know, one of the guys who's really coming up big for Indonesia is Cantada. Great job for him, coming up with big 8 points off of the bench as opposed to the rest of the bench, 0. So the biggest contributor for Coach Todd is Cantada.
Oh, Chris Daniels from the weak side. And you mentioned earlier how Todd Purvis is baffling the Beermen on the inbound plays. It continues to happen.
He has got their number, definitely. And I'm sure after this game, Coach Leo will be reviewing again all of the tapes so he can try to combat that in the games to come.
Brian Williams goes over. Banchero circles inside. Daniels called for the blocking foul.
Looks like they're going to get Pringle for the foul. Maybe pushing off a bit.
Fourth foul on CD. Take a look.
Yeah, there Chris Banchero just taking it hard to the basket. Chris Daniels there to greet him. It was looked like a nice clean block, but you know, whenever you get any kind of contact, the referees are trying to keep this from getting too physical, like it did a little bit in Game 3 in the third quarter, or Game 1 in the third quarter.
All right, so two of the bigs here, Chris Daniels and Aussie Taulava, playing with 4 fouls. Taulava is now off the floor for SMB. Acuna from outside. Drainer.
We saw that right from behind. Look at him elevate. Mario Wusan completely disappeared out of the picture, even though he was there to contend the shot. Nice shot by Val Cunha.
Warriors lead cut to 1. Thomas having a whale of a series here. Cañada from outside. He strokes the 3. Now the Beermen were upset because it looked like Thomas had passed to himself, which would be a travel.
Yeah, it looked like somebody may have got a hand in and stripped him of the ball, so he's allowed to take it back himself as long as somebody touches it.
Well, Cañada picking the pocket of Fortuna, and Fortuna with the foul, and Cañada is clutching that left knee.
Let's just hope it's nothing serious. Cañada coming in with some amazing plays for his team today. He's got 3 3-pointers. He just got a steal. He's got 11 points in this ball game, and just been a really tremendous spark off the bench.
And you know what? I think he twisted that knee on his own.
Yeah.
It was not a collision.
And what a blow this would be for the Warriors. Like you said, Vince, this guy is providing the only spark off the bench.
Absolute
for the Warriors.
only.
now if he's unable to continue, they've got to rely on basically their starters for the remainder of the game.
We never like to see this, but let's just hope it's nothing serious. It's something he can bounce back. Take a look at his left knee.
It buckled.
Right there. Yeah, I think it just kind of hyperextended there a bit. Just hope ice and a little bit of rest will get him straight, get him back in the game.
And they're not letting him put any weight. In fact, carrying him off the floor. I'm sorry to say, this does not look good for Jarek Cañada. They're laying him down over in the corner off the floor. Yeah. All right, so obviously we hope that is not serious. We will try and get an update on his condition from Janina in a moment. This comes with the Warriors up 56-52, 21 seconds on the shot clock. John Smith is back in the game for the Warriors. Usong from outside. Brian Williams with the rebound.
Maybe this will sort of wake up the game of John Smith, realizing the guy who's playing behind him is getting it done, but he's not. He's got to step it up.
Fortuna on the 3. Thomas corrals the rebound.
Such a master of the boards. He's able to rebound and always get in the right spot, in the right position. He's not the highest leaper, but he always leads and rebounds.
I think it was Charles Barkley who said it best when he said, it's not about how high you could jump. It's about how much you want it and how aggressive you're going to go after it, getting those rebounds.
Wusong can't hit inside. Jay Williams over for Avenito. Avenito into the lane. Off-balance shot, and Avenito creating something from nothing there. It's a foul on Steve Thomas. Now Thomas, that's just his second. And Avenito is at the line.
Yeah, the ref indicated that he hit him on the arm. If anything, he hit him with his body because he kept his arms kind of out of the way, considering what happened to him in game 1. So that's why he's a little surprised.
All right, Jared Cañada, as you see, standing up, so able to put at least a little weight on that foot. Avenito hits both. 56-54. Warriors lead with 6:45 to play. Wusong with Banchero on him. Now Avenito trying to cover Stan Pringle. He lost the handle. Beermen looking to tie or take the lead. Daniels trying to disrupt Brian Williams. Avenito into the lane, gathers it up, and scores off the initial miss. Avenito, give him credit for staying with the play. We are tied at 56.
Those are what you call veteran moves by Leo Avenito. Just having the presence of mind to stay in the play, even though the ball got deflected, he gets it back, puts it right up for the easy 2.
A push into the back of Steve Thomas from Justin Williams.
And a total look of disbelief by Justin Williams. Let's look at this play once again by Leo Avenito. Good play by Thomas there to deflect the ball, but Leo Avenito has the presence of mind to get the ball right back and go up for the 2.
"14 seconds put on the clock with 5:55 to go. Priantono, John Smith. Oof. The three-pointer was nowhere in the vicinity for John Smith. It's blocked out by Williams, and now 10 seconds to shoot for Indonesia. And we get our first look today at J.R. Kawaling taking over from Acuna. Chris Daniels gives back to John Smith. 5 seconds on the clock. Smith simply lost it, and there is one on the clock, and
they're going to say it got kicked.
Got kicked out, so they put 14 seconds back on. For a report on Jared Cañada, here's Janina Chan.
So I got a chance to talk to the recently injured Jared Cañada, and he told me that he actually twisted his knee as he spinned. So he is currently in pain right now. Right now he is being checked by his doctors, and so far we don't know any news yet if this will be a major injury or not. We'll see if he still can play in today's game, but so far he is being healed right now. He is still in pain. He still looks very much hurt, but hopefully this won't be anything major. Back to you guys.
Justin Williams fouled. Let's see who it's on. Janina, thank you for that. Sounds like it is unlikely for Jared Cañada to return in this game. Thomas now with 3 fouls. And Satepu takes over for the struggling John Smith.
Yeah, several moments earlier, we saw an air ball from John Smith. I think that's the first air ball I've seen from him all season long. So he's really not feeling it so far in this series.
And that was another 3-point shot where he could have taken a step in or a dribble in. you know, it makes a big difference, like I keep saying. But, you know, maybe to get that first shot in, he's just got to get over that hump and get that first one in.
One make and one miss for Justin Williams. Beermen lead 57-56. Thomas puts it on the floor. Spin move, has to gather himself. Now 4 on the clock, putting the shot up and draws contact from Justin Williams. Yeah.
Got bailed out there by a play that, well, much to the chagrin of Coach Leo Isaac, you don't foul a jump shooter. Even a big guy who's shooting a jump shot, and that's exactly what Justin Williams just did.
Timeout here taken by San Miguel as they cling to a 1-point lead, tail end of Game 2, when we return on Fox Sports. Just before the break here on Fox Sports, take a look at Steve Thomas going into the body of Justin Williams and then losing the ball. And he's allowed to continue. The officials did not call anything, and eventually Justin Williams committing the foul. The question is, was that a double dribble on the part of Thomas?
Well, if they didn't call it, then it's not.
Let me rephrase.
It could have been. It was close. But the simple fact that Justin Williams jumped on that shot and then turned his body, he actually had his back to him when he made contact on Thomas. So Thomas, gets to shoot 2 free throws.
We had a look briefly at the iced-up left knee of Jarek Kanyata. He twisted his knee coming down the floor, and his return is doubtful. Steve Thomas at the line. Steve Thomas 10 of 12 from the free throw line in Game 1. And Thomas, this is his first trip to the free throw line today.
And he's hearing it from this capacity crowd here at Ynares Pasig.
Not to mention those toll bells ringing.
Undertaker bell.
That's right.
1 of 2 for Stephen Demon Thomas, and we are tied at 57. Aussie Taulava back out onto the floor. Taulava playing now with 4 fouls. Let's send it over to Noel Bonus.
So in the last few minutes of the third quarter, the Beermen did take more jumper shots, which did not abide by their strategy of sticking closer to the paint and utilizing their strengths in the paint, if not closer to the paint. And so what Coach Leo wanted them to do is to pretty much, he told them they cannot afford any more careless shots. Let's get in closer, let's get in the paint, and more or less make those sure shots count. There's less than 5 minutes left in the game. Let's go hard, let's do this, let's focus, and just keep your mind in it. That's what he said, and let's see what we got left. Back to you guys.
Brian Williams at both ends of the floor with a block, and then coming up, he follows up with the putback to give the Beermen a 59-57 lead. Trying to bottle up Steve Thomas. Daniels controlling it. And a foul on J.R. Kowali as Chris Daniels released the ball. So frenetic action at both ends of the floor with 3:57 to play.
Yeah, not only was that a great sequence for Brian Williams to be able to, get be successful from both ends of the floor, but that just fires up the rest of the Beermen and really, gives them that energy that they need and gets this crowd just ready to erupt.
Daniels through 3 quarters, 3 of 4 at the free throw line.
So they've missed quite a few opportunities at 3 points in those free throws. Both Daniels and Thomas having their struggles.
He sinks the second. Beermen have a 1-point lead. 3:50 to play here at Ynares Sports Arena. Warriors trying to get out of town with a split of the series. Banchero offloading, Taulava, and the foul is on Daniels.
Ooh, if that's on Daniels, then that's going to be at the end of his afternoon, and that spells trouble for the Warriors, considering they've got very little depth, and the depth got a lot thinner when Cañada came out of the game with the injury.
I think they called that foul against Sitepu. So Daniels can rest for a little bit.
Safe for the moment.
Yes. But how crucial are these last 3.5 minutes? This could spell the difference between San Miguel taking a commanding 2-0 lead in this series. It's just a short 5-game series, so 2 games up is pretty big. Or can Indonesia fight back? They're only 1 point down and steal one here at the other Calaban's home.
Taulava misses both. It's a quiet day for Aussie Taulava. After 22 in the opener, he has 6 today. Pringle looking to get inside. And the foul is on Leo Avenido, and the Warriors arguing that the shot should count. And I believe the officials are going to give it to him.
Wild and woolly action. First I saw...
Oh, no basket is the call. So 2 at the line for Pringle.
First I saw Brian Williams literally shove Pringle as far as he could back to half court on this play. And then Pringle goes in and lowers his left shoulder right into, it looked like the sternum of Avenido, but the referee saw it as he was moving his feet. They called him for the block. I don't envy the referee's job in these last 3 minutes.
That was a big call. It comes with 3:19 to go. Pringle with 1 more free throw to come. Pringle gathers his own miss. Here's Banchero now. Gets into 5th gear. Mario Wasson with the foul, and Banchero heads to the stripe.
I like the aggressiveness. As soon as Banchero got the ball, though, he just put his head down. He says, there's no way I'm going to stop going from here straight to the rack.
I like what Brian Williams is doing on the rebounding end, and he's, through 3 quarters, he already had 9, a lot more than he had in the first game. And, blocking out Steve Thomas and getting that rebound is what sparked that run by Chris Banchero.
Banchero, a 67% free throw shooter in the regular season.
He was 5 for 5 in the first game, and so far in this game, he's 2 out of 4.
Brian Williams controls off the Banchero miss. So they're looking to get 3 points or more on this trip down the floor. Taulava banging. The whistle comes. And I believe this foul will be on Chris Daniels. No, it's on Thomas. That is fortunate.
Yeah, dodges the bullet once again.
Yeah, Thomas, that's his 4th, keep in mind.
I think it was a good call by the ref. There was Thomas he was battling with, and the whistle went long before Daniels came over for the help defense.
Taulava missing his previous 2 free throws.
Looks like he didn't have very good balance there on his free throw attempt, sort of leaning backwards and to his left. You just got to stay solid and put these two or last free throw down.
2013 ABL ASEAN MVP sinks the second. Beermen with a 2-point lead. Pringle into the lane, off the glass. That is clutch from Pringle.
A very similar looking shot to the one that he made that didn't count, so I think he said, hey, you're not going to give me that one, I'll take the next one.
And I think Coach Leo is going to have to make some adjustments. They just cannot let Pringle go right. He's seemingly going 100 miles an hour right, maybe 99 and a half left, so I would prefer him to go left.
Now, Thomas got the block, but I believe the foul is on Stan Pringle.
The San Miguel bench is asking for a shot goaltending, but doesn't look like they'll get it.
Todd Purvis calls timeout with 2:22 to go. And the possibility of overtime looming here in Game 2 of this best-of-5 AirAsia ABL Finals.
Yeah, that would not surprise me one bit. This series has given us a bit of everything already, and we're only in Game 2, so overtime, that would just be another thing to round out this great series.
Now, the foul was on Pringle, so that renders the argument about the goaltend moot.
Yeah, you can see where Pringle grabbed the right shoulder of Banchero going to the basket. Banchero has been very active. I mean, he hasn't exactly shot as good as he normally does, but I love his activity, I love his tenacity, and he's making good things happen for this San Miguel Beermen.
And forcing the Warriors to make a decision on defense with his dribble penetration.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's really a triple threat. I mean, especially when he's shooting very well. I mean, he's just one of the most unstoppable guys because he can hit the three, he can drive against you, he can drive and dish. I mean, he just does everything for your team. As we take a look at Aussie arguing in this case, the 2013 MVP of these Asian Basketball League games. And Paul, maybe you know who that is. I'm not sure.
Or wish, maybe.
A lot of people here today at a packed Ynares Pasig, checking out great action over Fox Sports. If you can't be here, watch right on TV.
61 apiece with 2:22 to play. And at the line, Chris Banchero. Both teams over the limit. So everyone's shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Yeah, how crucial is free throws the rest of the way? Both teams not shooting very well particularly well from the free throw line. So, in the final minutes, this is when it's really going to count.
Exactly. Free throws are so important when it's a close game and when there's only a few minutes left like there is right now. Every shot counts, especially those free ones.
Both teams now over 80% at the free throw line in this game. Pringle with Banchero right in his grill. 7 seconds to shoot. Pringle crossover. Brian Williams was waiting for the pass. The basketball smart, so Brian Williams paying off for San Miguel.
And just excellent defense by Banchero. Remember I was saying don't let him go right. Well, he made him do that little spin going back to his left, and the defense got the steal.
Williams a long two, no good.
Pringle in game 1 shot 7 out of 18 with 15 points, and so far he's 6 out of 17 with 16 points in this ball game.
Bullet pass over to John Smith. Thomas inside. Tapped out, and a foul on Brian Williams. It's a loose ball foul. And Chris Daniels will go to the line.
Yeah, they're going to say he went over the back of Daniels, who had pretty good position there underneath the basket. So very tough for you to go over top of someone like Daniels to get a rebound.
I'll say he went over the back and the head and everything else. I mean, they both came tumbling down.
Daniels is 4 of 6 from the free throw line.
Tight ball game. And can San Miguel pull this out in honor of their former coach, Mr. Bobby Parks, who I'm sure is smiling down right about now? Or can Indonesia steal one?
Yep, there we were talking about it. You can see Daniels putting his head back. He understands the importance of these free throws. Leo Avenito asking the crowd to make some noise. They oblige him, trying to raise the roof off the Ynares Sports Arena. Daniels with the second.
So he splits his free throws like he did last time.
Beermen take a timeout with a 1-point lead. Game 3 of this series will come your way this coming Wednesday. Tip time a little after 8 p.m. Hong Kong time, live on Fox Sports. If necessary, Game 4 would be in 6 days' time on Saturday. That a 3 p.m. Hong Kong time tip-off. And Game 5, should we need it, would be the following Wednesday right back here at the Ynares Sports Arena at 8 p.m. You can see it all on Fox. The free throw shooting today for San Miguel, 12 of 19 at the line, and for Indonesia, now 13 of 19. The crowd here enjoying some courtside entertainment on the timeout. For the Indonesia Warriors, they need a stop here with a minute 21 to go. And they are facing the prospect of being in a 2-games-to-none hole.
That's right, and in a 5-game series, the most crucial game, in my opinion, is the second game, because that makes or breaks the series right there. With a 2-0 lead, the Warriors are going to have to make up 3 games in a row, rather than if they go home with a split. It makes a totally different series.
Because of the way the format works, you got 2 at home, 3 away, and then 2 back at home. So if they split these, they got 3 games to win their 2. So good chance if they can split this.
The ball was advanced on the timeout. Here's Aussie Taulava. Taulava into the paint, kicks out. Kawaling gives the rock with 7 seconds to shoot. He'll put it up himself. The one-hander is short. Rebound Thomas. Pringle, spin move, and the blocking foul is on Kawaling. That's all Pringle wanted, a trip back to the free throw line.
And he stops the clock. He gets his guys a little rest. They're the team that has only a few guys playing, and they're all playing big minutes, long minutes. So every time they get the chance to stop the clock, get a little rest, good thing for them.
Pringle 4 of 5 from the line.
Well, what a smart play that was by Pringle, though. I mean, Kawaling really just stood his ground, but Pringle was able to, solve the foul by doing that spin, protecting the ball, and getting the body contact that he wanted.
We are tied at 63. 56.3 seconds left. The Beermen use their final timeout of the second half.
Well, this is it. I mean, you got a minute to go. It's a tie ball game. This is what every kid growing up wants to be in this type of situation. Can San Miguel come to the fore and have the poise and really be able to get these plays done and going? Or will Indonesia be able to come up with a nice concerted defensive effort? I mean, it remains to be seen. This is great basketball.
Now, for the prospect of overtime, remember, Chris Daniels and Steve Thomas, both with 4 fouls. And a correction on the timeout situation. San Miguel has 1 timeout remaining, and Indonesia actually has 2. But I tell you what, this series has been better than the hype, hasn't it?
That's right. Apart from maybe a few brief moments where the Beermen had a 10-point lead, there has not been a double-digit lead the entire series. So that shows you how close this has been the first two games.
So evenly matched. I mean, on so many levels. I mean, even the coaches. You have last year's Coach of the Year versus this year's Coach of the Year to go with. So many other players who just, they just know how to play each other. You got good guys who have not necessarily shown throughout the year, but come finals, they've really played very well. Like guys like Acuna, Cañada, those guys who you don't really rely on. They're making big contributions here in the ABL finals.
John Smith is back in the game, scoreless through 3 quarters for Indonesia. It's Smith along with Pringle, Daniels, Wusong, and Thomas for the Warriors. Valacuña, Ozzy Taulava, Chris Banchero, Brian Williams, and Leo Avenito on the inbound. Banchero gets into gear, falls down, gets it out to Taulava, back to Banchero, and Banchero slipping one more time, knocked out by Daniels. So the Beermen will have it with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Todd Purvis, as you see, arguing that Brian Williams committed a double dribble. The referees beg to differ, so 8 seconds to shoot for the Beermen on the inbound.
Players are always just reflections of their coach. You see the intensity of Todd Purvis, and you also see the defensive intensity of Indonesia.
Let's see if San Miguel can run an inbound play. Way outside to Williams. Williams driving. Taulava has it stripped. Oh, and that's a foul with 2 seconds on the shot clock. And John Smith is hurt away from the play. I did not see what happened to John Smith, but he seems to be in a world of pain.
Oh no, that's 2 players for Indonesia have gone down in this second half. And a sort of questionable call, if you're asking Coach Todd, on the shot by Ozzy Taulava, but he will get the foul and go to the free throw line. And again, let's just hope whatever happens with this injury with John Smith, it's nothing too serious. I also didn't see it. It was away from the play. I don't know if he's holding his knee or his ankle. But
and he's got that right leg up.
Oh.
So John Smith having a very difficult afternoon. So this is the second guy that's come out of the game for Indonesia after Jarek Cañada.
And you're seeing the sportsmanship of the Philippine crowd here, still cheering for the opponent's injured players as they get escorted off the play or off the playing court. They realize these guys are giving their all and trying to go for the win.
Now Taulava is at the line because of the Mario Wusong foul. Chance of MVP reverberating through the Ynares Sports Arena here. Big free throws for Ozzy Taulava with 34 seconds to go.
Short. It was short when he left his hands. I see it. Ozzy just got to stay square, stay balanced, and go for that shot.
Sometimes free throws are just as tough when you're at home, considering it's a tie game, so there's that much more pressure. It's a different kind of pressure, to make these shots.
Everyone jumping into the lane. Taulava hits the second. Todd Purvis wants to talk it over with his Warriors down 64-63. Taulava with 7 points on the day.
We have a 10.1 differential between the game clock and the shot clock, which means San Miguel will definitely get this ball back if they go all the way down to the 24 seconds and get the rebound. So anything can happen now with a 1-point ball game.
So Smith twisting that right knee. He's trying to put some weight. Smith twisting the right ankle, not the knee. It was Jarek Cañada with the knee issues.
The trainer of Indonesia's got his work cut out for him. It's like, which one do I heal first? Both of them need to be worked on.
And That's right. What a tough series it's been for John Smith. You know, with only 2 points the entire series so far, and then it comes to this. You know, taking an injury in the fourth quarter of Game 2.
But you know, Paul, in my experience, whenever you get a little injury, hopefully it's not too serious, somehow it makes you focus a little bit more on what you're trying to do, and hopefully they'll be able to knock down some shots after this.
And it's a good sign that he's back on his feet right there in the Warriors huddle. He may not be able to finish the game, but at least, you know, he can put pressure on it. As you can see, he's still grimacing. However, he's in the huddle, unlike Cañada, who looks to be, you know, a much more serious injury.
There we see Leo Austria setting up the defense. So an inbound play coming up, and that's been a problem for San Miguel defensively in this series.
So it all boils down to execution and poise at this point. Who can keep their head as level as possible and just get it done on offense and defense, they'll be the winner.
Christian Satepu taking over for John Smith, and Kawaling comes in for Acuna. Pringle just beyond the timeline. Pringle spins, puts the shot up, and scores with a hand in his face.
Huge shot by Stan Pringle. You know, the defenders were there. De Beermen, you know, were honest with him on defense, but he still made him pay. I don't know how he made that shot.
That's exactly what I was just talking about. Execution and poise. He had the presence of mind. He got a little time, got a little space, and just was able to go up and put the shot down.
22.7 seconds left. So the Beermen can run this one down all the way before taking a shot for the win. The Beermen have used their final timeout.
Now that's easier said than done, because you know the Warriors are going to be all over them on this possession. So running down the clock in 22 seconds, they're not just going to be able to dribble it out. The Warriors are going to start pressing the ball handler and make it very difficult for them to get a shot off.
Stan Pringle with 19 points in
Make
this
that
game.
21.
Now 21, in fact.
Wow. And Daniels with 15, Thomas with 13. Great efforts by those three guys for the San Miguel side. Williams with 15, Banchero with 12, and a lot of guys with 8.
Balanced scoring and baskets. You see low scoring one here. They've been tough to come by. The defense has been excellent from both the Beermen Warriors overall.
Yeah, that's what we expected. These are the two best teams, the cream of the crop of the ABL, and they do it defensively. They've done it all season long, and of course, that's what you expect in a battle in the finals here between them.
It looks like Thomas is out there limping a little bit out to the defensive end of the court, so that might be something the coaches might pick up on. Stephen Thomas looks like his left leg or something is bothering him, so might be another factor. We shall see.
Indonesia Warriors with a 1-point lead, looking to get out of Dodge with a split of the series. Beermen can take a shot for the win. Brian Williams outside, Daniels on him, back to Avenito. Satepu up in his face, the drive by Avenito. Taulava has to go and extend to get it. Taulava back out. Avenito setting it up. Shot partially blocked. Knocked out. 6.8 seconds left, and the Beermen will have it on the inbound.
Again, the Beermen are going to have a tough time getting a clean look. They're going to have to keep working that ball around and make the solid pass and not allow the Warriors to get any kind of their active hands on the ball.
Avenito shaking up on that play. Beermen are out of timeout, so they got to roll right into this inbound play.
San Miguel's going to have some good screens, some good movement, and maybe some switches.
Now Todd Purvis waited until the Warriors set up their, until the Beermen rather, set up their offense, then called a timeout. That's smart.
Well, absolutely. That's a nice veteran move by their coach to sort of freeze the shooters and whoever else is going on the San Miguel side. But then again, it could backfire. And it gives them a chance to regroup, to get a design play going, and maybe get the shot that they would want.
So the Beermen, you would think, would look to get the ball to a good free throw shooter because 2 from the line could easily win it for SMB.
At this point, it's just a matter of you don't want a great shot. You don't want a great shooter shooting a bad shot. You want a good shooter shooting a great shot. Anybody who's open, if they got the time and the rhythm and the confidence, go up with it. There's only 6.8 seconds, and all you need is 2 points to win this ball game.
Sitepu, Pringle, Wusong, Daniels, and Thomas back out onto the floor. So again, 6.8 seconds remaining. Beermen with the ball, down 1. Leo Avenito will inbound. He's got Talava, Banchero, Brian Williams, and Acuna on the floor. Pass, Brian Williams with the score!
Not over yet, 5.2 seconds to go. Pringle.
Now, here's Pringle coming up the floor, gets across the timeline. Time winding down the floater. It won't go, and the Beermen behind Brian Williams take a 2-0 lead. A sensational finish at Ynares.
And we got a dog pile under the basket on Brian Williams, saving the play, saving the day. Nice offensive effort, getting that shot to go down for the win, and then a good defensive effort to foil the attempt by Indonesia.
17 points for Brian Williams in Game 2, along with 16 rebounds. After a quiet Game 1, he hits the game winner.
You saw it right from the start. It was a different Brian Williams that started this game, and of course, after having a poor performance in Game 1, he wasn't going to let that happen again. A player of his caliber, he carried the team today, controlled the boards, and of course, provided plenty of offense for the San Miguel Beermen.
All right, we'll catch our breath and come back on Fox Sports right after this. Welcome you back to the Ynares Sports Arena, where we have just seen something incredible here from Brian Williams, a last-second basket, and the San Miguel Beermen win it 66-65 and have a 2-0 lead in the series. Let's go over now to Janina Chan.
Yes, I'm right now with the best player of today's game, Brian Williams. First of all, congratulations. You know, this game was so close. He kept it so close from the start to the finish up until the last few seconds of the fourth quarter. Now, how exactly did you do this? What was the biggest factor of today's win?
Defense and rebounding. I mean, that was a key goal for today's game because last game they got like 20-something offensive rebounds, and today they ain't getting that many. So, and then that last play, coach that was their play, actually. So, I mean, we drew it and worked to perfection. I got the game-winning basket.
All right, so how did Coach Leo come up with that final game, that last play?
I mean, I don't know, Coach Leo. Sometimes he just comes up with his own stuff. I mean, I think it kind of looked like the play they've been beating us with all season. So, I mean, that's crazy that it worked for us finally.
Congratulations and best of luck to your next game. Now let's take it over to Noel Bonas.
Thank you, Janina. I'm here with winning coach, head coach for the San Miguel Beermen, Coach Leo. Wow, what an impressive play the last 6 seconds there. What was going through your mind? We were down 1 point, and it was win or lose. What was going through your mind?
Wow, that's 6 seconds left, and we don't have any more timeout. But they give us a timeout. Maybe they're afraid of power play. That's why they organize their defense. Fortunately, we're able to make it because we have a good pattern for that kind of situation. And either way, could win this game. But we're fortunate because it goes on our side. Thanks God, they give us this very wonderful game.
Well, I believe everything happens for a reason, and today was your guys' day. Congratulations to you and the rest of the team. Hang tight, guys. We'll be right back.
Back here at Ynares Sports Arena, 66-65. The San Miguel Beermen win it, and in so doing, take a 2-0 lead. What can you say about Brian Williams, guys? 17 points, 16 rebounds, and a very well-designed play by Coach Austria.
Well, Coach, was really adamant about using a play by Coach Todd Purvis against him. I mean, that's what I noticed. Brian Williams just followed that play to a T, and a couple factors that came to the fore. Number one was the timeout. He even mentioned it, Coach Leo did. The timeout gave them the opportunity to regroup and to just get a design play going, and they used Coach Todd Purvis's play against them, so I guess they gave them a dose of their own medicine.
All right, so very discouraging finish for Todd Purvis and the Indonesia Warriors, giving up the basket to Brian Williams, and in so doing now are in a 2-game hole as the series shifts to Jakarta.
Yeah, the all-important win here at home to secure their home court advantage. They went 19-3 throughout the regular season for that purpose, in order for them now to have some breathing space. Even if the Indonesia Warriors are managed to hold their ground at home, they can still win it here at home. So home court advantage, very important here in a 5-game series.
And now, of course, the Indonesia Warriors have injury issues to worry about. Jared Kanyata twisting his knee in the second half, came out of the game, did not return. John Smith with an ankle injury. So those guys both now in doubt for a must-win Game 3 for Indonesia.
Yeah, well, let's just hope that both injuries are not as severe as might be. So they can come back and give a nice positive contribution for their teams. It looks to me like John Smith is not as serious as Kanyata, but I'm sure the doctors will have the last word on that.
Better performance overall from Indonesia off the bench with 11 points after only just 6 in game number 1. So the series now, as mentioned, goes to Mahaka Square in Jakarta. Game 3 will come your way on June 12th, 8 p.m. Hong Kong time. Then, if necessary, Game 4 would be on the Saturday. That's June 15th 2 p.m. In fact, the tip-off time for that one. And then Game 5, should Indonesia win the next 2 games, Game 5 would be on June 19th, right back here at the Ynares Sports Arena. So, a 2-0 lead now for San Miguel. If you're Todd Purvis, Paul, what sort of adjustments, if any, can you make for Game 3?
I don't think they can. I think he made his adjustments after Game 1, but the Beermen just came out on top, and it was a very tough game the entire way. I mean, they had a lot thinner bench than San Miguel, and they were still able to stay neck and neck with them. So, I mean, just to get a positive attitude to the guys, make sure, they're coming back home of 2 games and try to lock down those 2 games at home.
And for San Miguel, after Game 1 at the start, Vince, you pointed out the fact that the imports did not play well in Game 1. Well, certainly Brian Williams delivered in Game 2.
Yeah, he bounced back from his 2-point output. He got, I think, 17 today. So great output there by Brian Williams, and way to come back after his sort of first game jitters. Second game was much, much better, and he had the game winner, like we keep saying, and he was our player of the game.
Chris Banchero doing all sorts of damage, with 12 points, but it was his dribble penetration and getting space for his 4 teammates that was really the difference.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, like I keep saying, he's a triple threat. He'll give you, or he'll take whatever you give him. If you give him a chance to get into the middle and mix it up, he will do that. He will get deep penetration and dish off if need be.
Stan Pringle, Paul, with 21 points. His shot now really starting to click for them, and he is getting to the lane an awful lot.
That's right, and even, it's only Stan Pringle of the Indonesia Warriors and the entire team that can give them a chance with 5.5 seconds remaining to still get a clean shot off. Unfortunately, the last one didn't go down for him. Could have been a different story. It did.
So that will do it. The San Miguel Beermen win it 66-65 and hold a commanding 2-0 lead over the Indonesia Warriors. For Janina Chan, Noel Bonus, Vince Hezon, Paul Palelli, and our entire Fox Sports crew, I'm Sean Farquhar saying goodbye from Ynares.